Hi there, my name is Phil Beck and the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share and subscribe and ring that little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. So rumours. More rumours doing the roundup. These rumours, I think, are reasonably credible. So we're going to be talking about these rumours. And look, I'll put my cards on the table. I would like these rumours to be true because I really don't like the current era of Doctor Who. I made no bones about it. I really dislike it. So I would very much like these rumours to be true, but I also find them reasonably credible for several reasons. There are reasons why the rumours wouldn't be true as well, which we're going to be talking about. We're going to be going over it, I think, in somewhat detail. But before we get there, can I ask you guys, can you hit that like button? Can you hit the share button? But most importantly, can you hit that subscribe button? I have been tantalizingly close to 1,600 subscribers for the last, I don't know, week or so, and I keep getting closer. I get 591, 590, and it goes down to 590, 589, and it's making me crazy. It's making me crazy. So hit the subscribe button to alleviate the insanity of your local YouTube rabbi. Thank you very much. And also, I have to tell you, it's probably one of the easiest ways to elate me. Listen, I'm not low maintenance. I will be clear. My wife will never come on the channel. But if she would, and I would ask her the question, how low maintenance would you find me? She will go, after she got off the ground and stopped laughing, holding her tummy laughing. After she was laughing hysterically, she will say, no, you're not very low maintenance at all. So, make me happy by clicking a button. Yeah, I think we're on board with that. Can we do that? Now, what happens if you do subscribe to the channel? Other than making me happy, you can enter my ongoing competitions. I have a competition basically once a week. The prize this week is Fan-Dabby Double Dozy for any red-blooded Doctor Who fan. It is the Talons of Weng Chiang 2-disc DVD set. Not the Blu-ray. It's the DVD. Somebody else is the Blu-ray. No! The reason I'm giving away the DVD is because I bought the Blu-ray and I don't need the DVD anymore. So what do you need to do to win this fantastic prize? I tell you, if you haven't seen it, firstly, have you not seen Talons of Weng Chiang? It's one of the greatest stories ever. You need to subscribe to the channel. There you go. That's the theme I'm trying to get, to subscribe to the channel. And in the comments, leave the hashtag Mr. Sin. Mr. Sin, we're doing the prize draw tomorrow when I'm on the TARDIS Zone. We're going to be doing a watch-along of Army of Ghosts or Doomsday, the penultimate episode of the David Tennant's first year, the 2006 season. I think it's Army of Ghosts. We're going to be doing a watch-along. And during that, while we do that, we will do the prize drawing. And then we'll pick up a new prize for next week. And, it's rinse and repeat. We do that. We basically do that, every week. So hit that subscribe button, enter the competition, and best of luck to everybody who does. Fine, let's talk about these rumors. So I'm a rabbi, as I talk about quite a lot on this channel. I'm a rabbi, and that means I am offline from Friday at around 7 o'clock for 25 hours. So I came offline. So I came back online on Saturday. You can't run to your phone to see what's going on, and this new rumor dropped, which was that the BBC are not very happy with Doctor Who. Now that's not entirely accurate. A rumor I heard a couple of weeks ago, which sounds very credible to me, is there's a civil war within the BBC. Now the reason that sounds credible to me is because any large unwieldy organisation has factions in it. So the two factions involved here was BBC Studios, the commercial arm of the BBC. That's doing very well. They made something like 1.75 billion last year in selling BBC stuff, so they did pretty darn well. They can't stand. They can't stand the current Doctor Who. Why can't they stand it? It's simple economics. You can't sell it. People are not interested in it. I'm sorry. It's just not popular. By every metric by which we define something as being popular, the current Doctor Who is not popular. That's just reality. You put Jodie's face on something, it doesn't sell very well. And I think the licensees are feeling it, and they're hurting, and I think they've probably complained. What is this nonsense? Like, what if their license isn't worth the money they pay for it? Then there's no point buying the license, which very much impacts BBC Studios. So from that we had the Time Lord Victorious initiative came, and then we know it came from the BBC. So I'm assuming it's BBC Studios, because there is no mention of Jodie anywhere on this except a couple of places where they keep trying to shoehorn her in for some unknown reason. People just don't realise how much she turns off people in terms of buying things. So yeah. Yeah, BBC Studios, they don't like the current era. Who does like the current era? The current era is loved by BBC Cardiff. They freaking love it. Now, why does BBC Cardiff love the current era? Because they are of the point of view, they are of the worldview that women are a downtrodden underclass in Western society. You know, they're a downtrodden underclass, and they are being chased away from going into any science subjects, going to STEM subjects. They're being chased away from it by the evil male patriarchy. So what they plan to do is take a science hero, a Doctor Who, and make her into a fabulous, stunning, and brave woman. And then little girls will look up to her and go, "Oh, I can be a scientist. Good." So and then they'll go into STEM subjects, and the world will be good. The people will beat our swords into plowshares, and there'll be lots of frolicking and dancing in the streets. That's essentially what they think, and it's incredible. When you actually say it out, it sounds so freaking crazy, but that's really what they think. So BBC Cardiff was very much supported by the Director General of the BBC, Lord Tony Hall. Bad news for BBC Cardiff, Lord Tony Hall retired. Now, Lord Hall did a breathtakingly awful job. I really, it's really hard for me to think of the BBC being defunded and going away. It's an emotional wrench for me, because I grew up loving the BBC and loving the ideals the BBC stood for. Unfortunately, I think a majority of British people think the BBC have betrayed those ideals. And they use their platform to propagandize a frankly insane worldview. You know, I gave you a tent of it just now. It's just frank, and people just want to relax and watch something that people want to watch Top Gear. People want to watch Doctor. People don't want to be lectured. People don't want a stern, ineffectual lecture. It's boring. It's irritating. So the BBC is, I think, at its lowest popularity it's ever been. Again, what's a good way of knowing this? Because they're starting to give you the option of not paying for your BBC license fee. And so they've lost 300 million or 400 million in revenue. Like 1.75 million people opted out, and more are doing it every day. Because quite frankly, what's on the BBC that anybody wants to watch? Everything is politically motivated drivel. So as I said, bad news for the bad news for BBC Cardiff, because Lord Hall's left, and even worse news, his replacement is called Tim Davie, who was the head of BBC Studios, who doesn't like Doctor Who much. So what is this rumour that we've been circulating, and that the Tim Davie is insisting on a drastic and dramatic change of direction of Doctor Who, and which I think probably means a complete firing of everybody involved, and finding a new production team. And if this can't happen, there's talk about at the moment axing season 13, which is a bit strange to me, because season 13 has already been prepaid by HBO. But what we do know is HBO has no control of the content of that season. So, I think, look, if I was the Director General of the BBC, I would find airing this Doctor Who an utter embarrassment. Because the worst thing that can happen for this Doctor Who, I say this all the time, the worst thing that can happen is they make it and they air it, because when they air it, it does terribly, and it's reached a watershed mark. I think last year, when it just became the show that people knew was awful, right? And that's exactly when we saw the ratings fall off a cliff. So now, when it comes back, it's going to be derided. It's if you're from the 70s or 80s, right, you'll remember Crossroads. Crossroads was the show that it was okay to make fun of. Actually, Doctor Who for quite an extent as well. But Crossroads was a show it was okay to make fun of because it's just ludicrously bad. And I think Doctor Who is in that. Doctor Who, they do another season like this, they're just going to have parody after parody after parody all over TV, because it's objectively gratingly awful. Jodie Whittaker, I'm sorry, I was on board for her casting, and I was wrong, because she is horribly miscast. Chris Chibnall is completely out of his depth. Other than the agendarizing, he's just not very good at writing Doctor Who, which is kind of surprising. But, Philip Hinchcliffe is one of the greatest producers of Doctor Who, said, it is the show that will find you out. And he is right there. He is totally right. So, and this rumor came from the same source that has a bit of a good track record as well, which there's the same source that said that the Master was appearing in Skyfall beforehand, and was it Noel on the TARDIS Zone put a video out, and he got that video, he got a copyright strike, I think copyright claim against it. BBC didn't want that information out, so this rumor is credible and makes sense, and comes from a source that has been reliable and fast. So. But what about the HBO deal? So I think they can. The plan is like this: that they want to completely revamp Doctor Who, get back to Doctor Who that people might actually watch and like. Which again, this is why I want this rumor to be true, because I can't stand this era. And because of the restrictions on us by the pandemic, that will probably buy them a year of not having to refund the money, to HBO. And I think that's probably enough time to get a new production team and like a whole new Doctor in place. The other rumor, of course, is Jodie has already filmed her regeneration scene, and I could just see that's why. I think that's the least embarrassing. No, the least embarrassing way out is just don't show the festive special. Just don't show it, and when you do show it, put it in a graveyard shift. I really, but do they have any content though? They might have to put it in a very public slot. That was going on. So let's look at this article from the Daily Mail. Now, I know a lot of you do not like the Daily Mail. I don't really have any opinion about it one way or the other. I would say people who say it's not a very good news source are normally the people who just don't like the things that it's saying. So, maybe it's not as bad as all that. So let's just read this, which gives you an idea of the mindset of the new Director General, Tim Davie. If this article is true in any way, shape, or form, which it might not be. BBC's new Director General, Tim Davie, warns staff they need to represent every part of this country. Exactly. Right now, I think, with their diversity and inclusiveness agenda, then they're representing the smallest part of the country. Oh, man, listen, I understand print media is dead, but do you have to have freaking ads everywhere? So I can't scroll up. So I think it's representing the smallest part of the country, which isn't, minorities, which isn't women, which isn't Asians, which isn't black people, which isn't BAME people. You know who they're representing? The Twitterati, the teeny tiny group of Guardian reading, granola swilling, champagne socialists that work at the BBC. That's who it's representing. Who go, oh, this is so stunning and brave. Normally, people, minorities, when they are in control of their output, they normally do kind of fun stuff that's like is organic to them. The example I cited last time was Desmond's. It was a fantastic sitcom on Channel 4 in the late 80s, early 90s about a I guess Jamaican community barbers. Freaking love that. Or Tyler Perry movies. I honestly, I think if the BBC wants to have inclusion and do it properly, I really wish they would do this, is instead of saying we're going to put a disproportionate amount of minorities in everything, right? In everything, and we're always going to make white men the villains and evil. Instead of doing that, why don't they just take 25% of all their output and have that created by these minority communities, rather than lecturing to them, say, what would you like to see? What would you like to... And have them be the creative force of it. Then you get real representation. And do you know what else you're going to get? Really good TV. Really good, because it won't be TV with an agenda. It'll be TV that's representative, which is what we don't have now. So right now, the BBC is crushingly unpopular, exactly because of what's being said there. They need to represent every part of this country. And right now, it represents the teeny tiny bubble that lives in London, and and again, this is why we can talk about defunding the BBC, whereas 10 years ago I don't think we could have done. I really don't. As he arrives on his first day in work after a threat to axe left-wing comedies amid bias row. Good for you, Mr. Davie. Tim Davie takes over as new Director General from the outgoing Lord Hall. He will shake up the BBC left-wing bias comedies reports. But I think Doctor Who would be a high priority because again, he comes from BBC Studios. And BBC Studios looks at the bottom line. The bottom line is the Jodie Whittaker era is a failure in every metric. Every metric by which you define something to being successful, it is a failure. Top executives will also look at Swedish-style model of funding for the BBC. Well, they don't really have a choice now, do they? The BBC's new director, Tim Davie, has one staff. They need to represent every part of this country honestly, didn't the Brexit election or the general election or the other general election tip them off? They weren't in step with the people? No, I guess not. Every part of the country. So they arrived at the first day of work. He plans to axe the broadcasters' left-wing comedies. Wearing a blazer and shirt and jeans. That sounds like a bad combination. Mr. Davies arrives at the board. Although Lord Hall came covered in cobwebs. He was that kind of guy. He arrived at the broadcast office in Scotland where he told staff they need to reform with urgency and stress it must be a universal public service, which it is not right now. So again, this is tying into this rumour. I think this is giving credibility to this rumour. Again, I'll reiterate. The other thing giving credibility to the rumour, it came from a source that's been right before. Mr. Davie, the former chief executive of BBC Studios, who did very well, the corporation commercial production and distribution arm, is expected to set out his plans for the broadcaster in the coming week with impartiality a key focus. Maybe this is a last ditch attempt to not have the BBC defunded. I think it's too late. I think the cat's out of the bag. He reportedly wants a radical overhaul of the broadcaster's comedy output in the coming months over fears it's been seen as too one-sided. Fears? No, really? Where's the pro government, pro president of the United States comedy? I don't see that much. And these disgusting Twitterati will be like, well, there's nothing to laugh about, isn't there? This is the thing. Look, there's really no point reading this. It's basically just saying the same thing over and over again. Here's the thing. Even if they can't revamp Doctor Who and they have to cancel it somehow, I don't know how. Even if that happens, which I think is unlikely, I think just the financial reality of having HBO and the Chinese media company have paid for the season. I can see they can take a year delay because of the pandemic, but I don't see much more. But even if worst case scenario that happens, the rabid fans of this era will never admit they made that's anything to do with it being incredibly unpopular. I had a lady on my channel last week who was a comic book fan, but a very progressive comic book fan. Now, the comic book industry has completely imploded. The direct market's over. There's not enough stores to support it. Indiegogo and Kickstarter seems to be the platform that everybody's going for now. So I had this woman on, and so I said, this is what we've been warning about for several years. And it's all a coincidence. It's all a coincidence. That's exactly what they're going to say. I have a theory. I have an idea. They may be in for another coincidence. My name is Sheila Bacon, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.